Welcome to another nerdy episode of another nerdy talk show where we talk nerd. So, a little bit of a heads up here. Cruiser can't join us tonight because, well, he sent him. I asked him if he had anything to say, and this is what he had to say. He was sick, so he just sent me a message that said this.
Oh, God, I hate this. You like hot dogs, right?
And so that was what he sent me. So yeah. So instead, we got one of the our other producers here, Mr. Ventureorder, joining us here, aka Raul.
You know,
How you doing, buddy?
living every day, um, like the best I can, and especially after watching Final Destination, I'm avoiding everyday objects.
Yeah, my girlfriend saw that too. She was actually telling me what all the stuff there because like my I think I've mentioned this before. My reviews of the Final Destination movies. Number one, that was good. Number two, it was okay, not as good as the first, but fine. Number three, as now a roller coaster operator, none of that makes sense. Roller coasters don't run on fuel; they run on air. I do like the DVD
And then
ones.
especially standing up, like staying upside down for that length of time, like in that spiral. I'm like, the coaster would have automatically gone forward or backward. It wouldn't
But
just stay up there for like.
on a related note, how did that accident happen if the guy who caused it got off the ride? Although I will give Final Destination 3 credits, I do like what they did for the DVD extras where you can change the deaths.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Final Dest-
Final Destination 4 for me is the weaker of the one.
yeah, this
Because
is
for me, Final Destination 2 at least created the most famous of the
oh yeah, logs.
first deaths with logs. Because you know how many people still don't drive behind logs?
Everybody.
There's about a whole ass
I
generation.
was gonna say Final Destination 4 for me. Nobody likes NASCAR and you're really not gonna follow the books. Final Destination 5, do you even care anymore?
No, the Final Destination 5, the reason I liked it is because of the twist in the sense that you didn't realize, unless you were paying attention, that it was a prequel.
Yeah, so technically, and I want to point out here, Final Destination 1 technically takes place after 9/11. So there you go. But like one thing that was really funny was I like my Sarah was telling me about all the stuff that happens in the new one, and they actually answered one thing where the director says with a Todd, friggin' Todd fucking uh shit, what's his last name? Todd Candyman. What was his name?
Looking it up right now.
Huh? Yeah, I forget his name. I know
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd, thank you. Um the director said in the first one, he's like, everybody thought Tony Todd was death, and the director's like, no, he's not. And they keep doing. I mean, the guy's a morgue in a dungeon, so I'm like, and this one finally answers how he knows the rules. He's not death. He was just a victim. And that last message he gives before he goes away made her cry.
Oh no, like that was making me cry. And I will tell you this: as far as horror movie goes and movies in general, not that many movies per se will make me cry. Um, and mostly, it's like animated movies and like family movies and stuff like that, or even maybe some romance. But like a horror movie making me cry, I was like, fuck.
I know. I mean, I don't cry. Half the
What the fuck is
people.
wrong with me?
Hold on, hold on. Stand by.
That's what she said.
No, wait, hold on. We got something. We got some breaking news. As much as I don't care about this show, apparently, it was revealed at least 26 minutes ago. Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty fame just passed away at 79.
Okay.
I hope that he went peacefully. I
He
guess.
died. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Well, he at least he's no longer suffering. Like I can't really say that I'm
A fan.
like it's sad that he went through that because like
Reasons.
no, not reasons. Like I'm sad that he had to suffer through Alzheimer's and stuff. But like
Yeah.
unlike like other maybe celebrity deaths or anything like that, it's
Yeah.
not really hitting me. And again, I'm not trying to be insensitive for maybe people who were fans of that show.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't see the show. My mom was a fan though.
Yeah, like hopefully hope his family's okay. That's all I can hope for. Like I said, because I don't really know.
Indeed. So one other thing we were talking about here. First of all, if you guys may know Ventureorder as the guy who is in that viral photo from Velocicoaster who was holding that wig at the exit.
I mean, tour guides from the park still use me as a point of story to talk about that ride.
Come on, man. You friggin' got them to change that Twitter description to hold on to your wig.
I mean, I will take some of the credit there. Me and then the person that whose wig it was, like she she was great. Like, and she's actually me and her both met Bryce Dallas Howard, and we told her the story of the wig,
Yeah,
and she honestly couldn't like believe it. She was laughing so hard.
that's so cool, man. But yeah, anyway, tonight we were actually going to bring up some stuff that was interesting. First of all, Jablonski saw Lilo and Stitch, and I'm assuming you did too.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't see it, and but I kind of get the deal behind it. So before we begin, I'm just gonna play our splash screen real quick.
Hush, hush, hush. Here comes the bogeyman.
Okay,
Well,
chop
it's
chop.
probably gonna take a little longer than
Okay,
5 minutes.
5 minutes, whatever. So first of all, you guys are probably gonna be debating like mad about this, so I'm giving you a time limit of 15 minutes. So, what did you guys think of the movie?
I'll
You want to go
let
first? Or not me?
Jablocki go first.
Okay. I'm going to start off by this disclaimer. Firstly, this is by no means a masterpiece or high art. This is a Disney live action remake. If you want to see this movie, see it by its own merits and do not compare it to the original.
I mean,
But is it good on
obviously.
its own? Yeah. Is it good? Because it's not going to top the original at all. I never expected to top the original. Is it good on its own merits? I'd say so. Is it like I said, it's not masterclass, it's not fucking high art. It's a safe movie, but it's not really a bad one. Though there are a lot of differences between this and the original. And we'll go over that when Raul does his thing. But overall, if you pay a matinee price for it, you won't be disappointed. You're not going to miss anything if you wait for it to come out on Disney Plus.
So, what's your verdict, Raul?
I'll start off with kind of my rating I gave on Letterbox. I gave it a 3 out of 5. So this basic rating, and this is where I have to kind of disagree with Zablowski on that you can't really compare it and have to give it its own merit. That's where I kind of agree and disagree. In one aspect, I understand what you mean, but at the same time, this is a live action remake, so comparison to the original is going to be a given, and from different elements such as the opening of where you introduce Stitch, that entire sequence, which is this is not a spoiler, so certain
Yeah, no.
elements I will go. I guess you can say spoilers in regards to what's already been in the original of him being in the council meeting, him escaping, him getting the spaceship, and him hyperdriving. That all felt so rushed to me that I was like, uh, that I felt like it was just doing the beats because we already know it and seen it. So it's like, why even bother staying on it? Considering the movie is 20 minutes longer, and I know the budget is only $100 million, and the movie was originally supposed to be just a Disney Plus film, and some of those elements, in a way, show with that sequence alone. Because when I watched the original movie, again, comparisons are going to be unfortunately a given in some aspects. Is that you felt like, okay, you gave time to kind of understand the council, okay, organization, aliens, law and order, blah blah blah. You get Stitch, and you can see him understanding how the guns work with the DNA sequencing. And then, even though you don't see him going into the spaceship area and getting the red car, it gave proper timing to kind of appreciate the joke when you do see him eventually with the car. You don't even get a proper chasing in the space, him shooting the blasters or anything. And one of the jokes that I kind of enjoyed as an adult is when the councilwoman says, "Oh, the planet is made out of water. His body is high density," and they leave it at that in the original animation because the writers were, treated the audience smart enough that either the adults will be able to figure it out, or the kids, when they first hear it, will figure out down the road when they're adults. In this movie, they're like, "Oh, it's because his body's gonna get with water. He's gonna get heavy. You hear that, audience? He's going to be heavy in the water." In case you didn't get it.
Oh my god, that's just...
So it's elements like that. And also, what they did with Jumba, was not a fan of that, and what they kind of did with Nani in some elements there as well. That's why I gave it like a 3 out of 5. Like, there's some elements that I enjoyed. Lilo is great. Stitch is so wonderful. Um, but there's some elements there of the changes that I didn't fully agree with.
I agree with some of your stuff on there. Like, I do agree that some of this, like the very beginning, because funny enough, I went there. I went to the bathroom right before the credits, not the credits, the previews ended, because I'm like, okay, I probably have enough time to get there, go to the bathroom, come back. By the time that I came back, which was like barely even, I want to say 2-3 minutes, Stitch was already in hyperdrive going to space, going to Earth. I'm like, wait a second, that's a little too quick. I also will agree that Jumba is the weakest, probably the weakest part of this live action remake.
Yeah, I heard that they got rid of Captain Gantu, if I'm not mistaken.
There was an explanation for that one from the director himself. He said it was because of budget, and they tried to make it work, but it just wasn't going to work.
Well, here's my thing. People complain on that. I'm like, okay, I got a question for you. What did Gantu add to the original movie?
They gave him the movie in the original, and this is from my perspective. Even though Gantu wasn't like a Shakespeare level or Thanos level villain in the aspect of writing, he was an antagonist, an opposition force for Stitch in a way, especially in the animation when Lilo is captured accidentally by Gantu, and then Stitch is going after Lilo and going after Gantu. Is someone that Stitch in a way can go up against with, because Gantu is, that police force. We gotta follow rules. He's a monster.
Well,
And he's willing to even break the rules in his own self-righteous way in a certain aspect, if you look at it that way, to be able to capture Stitch. Because he's like, I don't give a F.
well,
Like, I'm gonna capture this little alien
so essentially what you're saying is
because he's a monster.
he's only there because they needed a climax. Everybody I brought up to says, no, in the sequel, he plays in the series. I'm like, no, we're not talking about Stitch the movie or Leroy and Stitch. We're talking about Lilo and Stitch right now. I don't care about that shit.
Yeah, but like he was if like I said, a good antagonist in a sense to Stitch. One scene I will say, like you get you that for me kind of is a way that you understand that Jumba is not fully bad guy in some aspects. He's just doing his own thing. It's when in the movie, in the animated, him and Stitch are fighting over the blaster, and it's like, oh, I just remember, it's your birthday.
yeah.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Like that scene is so much.
What potato?
And they don't even have that in the movie. And
I wish they did that one, and the "You leave my mother out of this" line. I wish that was in the live action movie.
That would have been funny
That would
because
have been great.
Stitch is wonderful, and Lilo. What?
I heard the effects are...
This is a small.
Sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Evan. Sorry,
No,
go
on.
ahead
You
first.
continue your thing. You were at a little dynamic there. Go on. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say that one small nitpick I had, and again, this is the dumbest thing. The sandwich that Lilo leaves is not a peanut butter sandwich.
Oh,
I actually
what?
had people point that out. Okay, so funny thing, I've seen people point out. My rebuttal to that is like, what if she ran out of peanut butter?
In the movie, they explain what happened.
They fucking dude, like in the movie, they do shit. That's what happens.
I know. I was just messing with them, but honestly, it's one of those things. It's like that is like one of the probably. It's a kind of a nitpick, but at the same time, it's fun to joke around about too.
I mean, like one of the.
What was gonna be your point, Evan?
I was gonna say, the CG in it. I heard it wasn't that as bad as people were gonna think it was gonna be.
No, it was
Honestly,
good.
it was pretty decent considering the money. It was only $100 million
Oh yeah.
that the film cost. But again, in some aspect, you can tell that this was originally meant to be a Disney Plus show.
Hmm.
I'm not show, Disney Plus movie because of like the shorter budget, not lower shorter budget, the lower budget. Which I'm not saying that you can't make a movie lower budget because we've seen plenty of movies, you know, especially with Blumhouse, A24.
Oh yeah.
Again, mostly known for horror, but still to the point where you can make a movie feel more bigger than it is as far as budget, and then you only have, let's say, $10 million, $5 million. Yes, that's a lot of money for us, but comparatively for a film, that's pretty low amount of money, especially what you were maybe trying to do.
Oh yeah. Of course.
But yeah, it's a. I do like that there's at least some kind of a compromise when it came to Bleakley, because yes, we did not get Bleakley full like alien in drag. However, we did get his human disguise have a more feminine outfits.
Okay. So they.
So I wasn't. He was it was like what, a knitted top with a sunflower in the center and like a like parachute pants and like a hat with a flower on it or something like that.
It actually reminds me of something happening today. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, so I apologize. I was working front of the Tron ride,
Yeah.
and there was a dude in line, and he's just sitting there with his girl, standing in line with his girlfriend, right? And he's crocheting. He's like knitting, crocheting together this like headband. And I look at him like, I hope you get that ready in time for the race, user. Because if not, you're not going to be having any protection there. They don't provide you helmets here. And he's like, yeah, I'm working on a square hat. And I'm like, oh, in that case, it won't be needed. But it was pretty cool. It was like a guy. You ever seen people like with Rubik's cubes? Raul, you've seen people in line with Rubik's cubes, right?
Mm-hmm.
How they're not even looking. They're just like doing like the whole Naruto thing to them. That's what he was doing with this like hat. It was amazing.
But
yeah.
probably the biggest change, and that it pisses off a lot of people, was the ending.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like that's one of the things that kind of bothered me a little bit.
This one we're probably gonna tussle over. So
I will say also I did not like the changes they did with Cobra. Like it felt like it took away some aspects of the movie that I, in a way, fell in love with the original.
the way I feel about with the ending is that it's a couple things. One, realistically, it's better than the alternatives that could have happened. Two, Nani was in a very much a lose-lose situation. And the social worker, played by Nani's voice actor, by the way, was being nice. Though it took David and his grandmother, also who voiced the fruit stand lady from the original movie, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and also Nani's boss in the new movie is the voice actor for David.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. But yeah, I feel like it works in the sense of David and what was it? Tutu, the grandmother.
I'm not sure. Hey.
Okay, but David and the grandmother have been watching over them since they lost their parents. So even the grandmother stated that to her they are Ohana. So I don't see it as a banning of the message of family in that movie, and people getting upset that Nani left. put it into perspective is that she is just she's a teenager. She's supposed to be a teenager. She is a child herself compared to our age. She was not prepared to deal with something like this. And then I do have no doubts that she loves her sister and all that, but she held herself back too from being able to provide for her sister better. So the agreement in the movie makes a lot of sense in the aspect of the movie. So that way she can go to college and with a free ride, by the way. You don't get that often.
Oh yeah.
For something like that. And thanks to snatching of Jumba's portal gun, she can see her sister whenever.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't see it as her abandoning Lilo. Because she's with family. Just not in the traditional blood relative family.
All right, that's a good point there. What's your rebuttal, Raul?
The reason I don't, well, Jesus. The reason I fully don't like it is because it relates also back to what they did with Jumba's character. Is in the original animated film, Jumba wasn't necessarily a bad guy. He was, in a way, trying to go capture Stitch, but like he saw Stitch in a way growing. He's like, huh, it's weird. Like he's not doing the normal things I programmed to do, and he's not like a bad guy like they kind of made him in this movie. And with that, when he's left in the planet with Plankley, it's like the Grand Councilwoman says, "Don't let these two on my ship." And those two become, in a way, those weird uncles that you would have,
Oh yeah, Aunt
and
Plinkly and
everything.
Uncle Jumba.
Yeah, Aunt Plinkly and Uncle Jumba. And that's, I understand the Ohana is kind of, in a way, family is who you have in your life, and sometimes it's not always blood related. That's another part. Is okay. Nani leaves, and the part for me that, okay, I understand college and everything. There's a different take, but like it's kind of the reason also for me I don't like Toy Story 4 and Woody leaving. It wasn't the fact of him necessarily just leaving. It's the reasoning they kind of gave. Because and throughout the entire, for example, again, going to Toy Story real quick, Woody will say, "We gotta stay together. We are one family. We gotta stay together for our kid and this other stuff." And then he just leaves. It's like, "Bye. I'm with my girl now. Deuces." Again, I know there's more towards that, but getting back to Lilo and Stitch, I didn't like what they did with Jumba. Also, the whole thing with Cobra, it didn't hit with me as well because Cobra was already at the get go. For example, CIA agent. It wasn't like in the original where you know something was up with him, but you
Yeah.
didn't know what. And he, just like the caregiver in the live action, was saying, "Hey, I understand you're trying, but you also have to think what's best for Lilo." And the reason I didn't fully like it, because at least in the original, she was trying her best and she was fighting to, keep Lilo, within the, with her and stuff like that. With the new one, there were a lot of moments where it felt like Nani was just like not there. Like the record scene where Stitch is scratching the record and playing music out of his mouth. In the original, again,
Yeah, she
it's
looks
hard to do.
confused. Yeah.
She looks confused. And this one, she's like, "Oh, okay, bye." Like she doesn't even pay attention. It takes away from the joke, and it's like, why even have that in there if you don't even gonna have like an impact of one of the characters reacting to it?
Because corporate. And that's and again, this is like this is one of the nitpicks that the nicks I would actually give it. It's not a nitpick because it's not a personal thing. It's
All right.
kind of a movie thing. They have there are certain scenes that are in there that just don't work because that's what corporate dictated. It's like we gotta have this scene, we gotta have this scene, we gotta have this scene.
Hell, even
It's like,
Nani getting fired from her job in the live action movie doesn't make sense because there's no way to insist directed that it was Lilo and Stitch's fault, as hell to even Nani's fault. When
yeah.
in the original, Stitch was literally biting off the head of a customer, and there, people were watching it. So it's like, okay, makes sense. Nani, was involved. That's her sister and her dog. But in this one, it's like, who even saw the fire getting started. Like no one saw Stitch.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
Again, the ending I
No.
didn't fully understand. Also, just the fact that Nani was carrying Stitch through open sand, no rocks in between her, like perfect conditions for her to do that journey to get Stitch onto the shore. That moment, I'm like, you
That
I'm
took
sorry,
me
like
out of it.
this.
I'll even admit, as much as I like this movie, that took me out of it. Though probably my favorite joke in the new one is right after Pleakley got pranked and Jum is dragging him across the street.
So,
That was hilarious.
well, I guess we got some good opinions there. I'll have to see when I get the chance. Yes, here's actually a little fun fact for you. Do you ever hear about the theory between the title of Lilo and Stitch?
No.
So, Stitch is Stitch. So, but the thing is, you know what Lilo's Hawaiian name translates to?
Right.
It has two definitions. One is generous one, and the other one is lost. So the first one's obvious. Lilo is a maniac, but she can also kind of be generous from time to time. I mean, it's a Disney movie. She can obviously be very nice all the time, being just a kid. But the term "lost" also plays into it because she's lost a lot of she's lost her family together, and when they get stitched, Stitch brings them together, like sewing a stitch together. So basically, a good translation for the movie would kind of connects. It should be basically lost and drawn together. You didn't know that, did you?
Interesting. No, I didn't.
It did not.
Yep.
Also, this is
I
just
believe
want to breaking news.
the nostalgia critic did a top 11 Disney princess conspiracies things where he actually addressed this. So yeah. Anyway, what are you gonna say?
Mm-hmm. Annabelle the doll is missing.
No, she's not.
What?
That was it. That's just an internet rumor. The guy confirmed that she's not missing.
God.
I want to make sure because I do not need evil shit right now.
I know.
No,
Raggedy
but,
Ann scares me enough.
Yeah, but Raul, would you agree with my assessment saying it's a good matinee film, or even if you wait for Disney Plus to pop up on Disney Plus, that's fine too. You're not missing anything.
If I have to, okay, if we're comparing it to some recent live action, like for example, I'm not gonna go through every live action movie that's come out in the last, let's say, 5 years or so or whatever.
I'm not
But if I have to
asking.
give my top, but I wouldn't say it's the worst live action. That I think that holds to Snow White right now. But I would say, like you said, I would agree with you. Like matinee prize, or maybe wait until it's on Disney Plus, because like out of films, even outside of Disney films, it's not the worst movie. And to give you perspective, on my letterbox, my worst rated movie of this year right now is Wolfman by Leigh Whannell.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one. And even for
Oh,
me,
look
again,
forward to that one
sorry
too.
for any Captain America fans, Captain America 4.
Didn't like it?
I didn't say I didn't like it. Actually, I might actually switch these around because right now, like my top movie is Sinners, and my bottom movies out of from the 10, Lilo and Stitch is number 11, Hard Eyes is number 12, Until Dawn is 13, Captain America is 14, and Wolfman is 15. So I might have to switch Captain America up a little bit.
I mean, I heard it wasn't.
But like,
I've heard it's just ranged from like Marvel movies now have like a thing with James Bond movies. It goes from that was freaking awesome to that was good. Pretty much that's what I've been hearing.
for
That
me,
the new ones, it's like that was fine.
I don't think
yeah,
I've
like for
seen
me,
any
Captain
other
America
movies
definitely
this
felt
year.
more like a Disney. Like you can wait until it's on Disney Plus to watch. I watched it with friends, and that's why I went to in theaters. But like thinking back, I was like, it was okay.
Yeah, I'd say
Lilo
it's like.
Stitch.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, just gonna say Lilo Stitch. It's a good time if you watch it in theaters. If you want to wait Disney Plus, you can. But if you have a good time, if you have time off, Memorial Day and all that stuff, check it out, matinee.
So, one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was a thing that Cruiser sent me, about them possibly making a new Street Fighter live action movie. with what was it? Jason Momoa. And first of all, I'm going to assume Jablonski, you being the nostalgic guy, and Venture, you being the movie guy, you've seen the original live action Street Fighter movie.
Yes, I have.
Of course.
This.
I think there's only one joke I remember that made me laugh is when they're waiting, seeing the truck come by, and Zangief's like, "Quick, change the channel!" And they all look at him like, "Dude, the fuck." But like,
One of my favorite jokes,
yeah, right.
which is not necessarily a joke, but it's the line where Ming Na Wei character is like, "You came into my village, you destroyed everything," and he goes, "The day that General Bison came into your village, it must be the glorious day. For me, it was just a Tuesday."
I guess that movie is bad, but you still
Yeah.
remember that shit. And
No, yeah, like one of the lines that I saw a lot from Nostalgia Critic from that movie. Of course.
Yeah.
Movie
For
taken.
me,
Yeah, of course, rest in peace, Raul Julia.
Oh yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, dude. He was awesome.
I sure some of those lines from like the old video game movies, I could probably see on like Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that
So
movie.
You could see it too.
I was wondering, I was thinking about a reboot on Street Fighter. First of all, what do you think of a Street Fighter reboot movie?
I'm not against it. I would have to see more and who's behind it in order to really get gauge on if I want to see it or not.
Yes, I mean,
I was, for example, excited when Mortal Kombat got the new movie. When I saw it, I was like, it could have been a lot better. It wasn't fully worse or terrible, but like if we're comparing to the Mortal Kombat movies, I remember the original one from the 90s by Paul W. Anderson more than the new one that came out. The only thing I remember from the new one is I forget his name. He's a Japanese actor, but the one who played the Scorpion
oh
in the
yeah,
new Mortal Kombat movie. I love him as an actor, so that's why I remember his portions more because of him. But everything else in the movie was eh.
exactly. So I was thinking that yeah, I could kind of see their Mortal Kombat was passable, I guess. But it got me thinking. This is the topic I wanted to bring up today, so I'm actually glad you decided to jump in on this. There were a lot of video game movies that were horrible back in the 90s and everything like that, no doubt.
Mhm.
In fact, the only video game movie I can think that actually was good was Tron. But like the
And I want to say Resident Evil because thankfully it made a franchise, and that one I believe in the 90s.
so I was thinking to myself,
No, 2000.
if we were to go through all these movies again, with the exception of, Mario Brothers and Mortal Kombat, the movie, would what movies from the 90s deserve a second shot?
It's not from the 90s.
Or
It's not
90s
from the
or 80s, you
90s.
know what I mean.
Doom. Doom
Oh.
movie deserves a second chance to make
I think
into a proper Doom movie.
they did. They tried it. I think they did a second Doom movie when it was there a sequel?
There was Doom, and then there was another movie of Doom that came out. I think it was
Doom
straight to
Annihilation.
DVD.
Doom Annihilation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know about it until like I was like, "The fuck, the f is this?" And then I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, this looks terrible."
Yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the critical response here. It's 43%. It came out in 2019.
What?
Mm.
Okay, Jablonski, I guess it doesn't deserve a good chance. Poster looks pretty cool though.
No. Here's the thing. Give it to a director. No, not Zack Snyder, but like
Sex.
I think no, that's what I'm trying to think of. Someone with an action, eye camera. I would say that likes bloody kills. Maybe the people who did John Wick.
Yeah,
Or at least
yeah.
having them produce it, because you can have Doom be an easy movie. A guy shoots demons.
Or like
Like how hard is that?
Or like Ridley Scott. Give it like to Ridley Scott. That'd be pretty cool. Think so?
Yeah, give it to someone that knows action and horror.
Yeah.
Because that's what those two are. I would say have it be I just got the craziest idea too. It'd be actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What was the name of
Double
that?
Dragon?
What was the name of that movie that was shot in first person that came out a few years ago.
Hardcore Henry?
Oh,
Yes.
I can't
Make it
watch
like
that
Hardcore Henry.
again.
Make it like Hardcore Henry. You'd be fucking badass.
I tried watching that. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I can't watch this movie. Like me and my dad saw a trailer for that on IMAX, and we're like, oh god, this is going to be hard to watch. It was
I will sit through the motion sickness to watch it.
it was a good idea, but like I'm watching, I was like, I tried watching. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I like this idea, but I feel like I'm gonna throw up right now. But
There's one movie that I would love to see based from a video game to get a better chance. Max Payne.
oh yeah, Max
Yeah,
Payne.
I can agree with that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit of a handicap here. No, there are no movies that are directed by Uwe Boll deserve a second chance.
Oh, don't get me started with him.
Me neither. I did a
No.
reaction to video to his like response to people who didn't know when funded Rampage 3. But what about, but yeah, what did you say again? It was they got
He said Max Payne.
Max Payne, yeah. I completely forgot there was a Max Payne movie, honestly.
Yeah, Marky Mark and Mila Kunis, directed by what's his name? John Moore.
Yeah.
Right. There's also apparently a Tekken movie. Oh, and we can't forget the Walt Disney picture Prince of Persia, starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, that
Look,
one needs to be redone for sure.
Honestly, I think it was inevitable that Disney would dip their toes into a video game adaptation at one point. And then they said, fuck it, let's just make a movie about video games. And then we got Wreck-It Ralph.
No, the second one actually I want is another one that I want to have seen redone. Assassin's Creed.
There was an Assassin's
I would agree with you there, because how the hell did you? I'm trying not to curse. How the hell do you mess up a simple concept? A guy goes back in time through a portal, or whatever you want to say.
It's DNA.
DNA.
I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, so.
No, yeah, through DNA to able to relive events of the past. How in the world do you mess that up?
I don't know. Resident Evil messed it up when they made Operation Welcome to Raccoon City.
It's like I thought the idea of how they did the Animus in the movie was actually kind of cool. Instead of just being like laying down on on a table like you are, or in a chair like you are in the games. It's you're in like the Kuka arm sort of contraption, and you're moving around and it follows you around and all that. That was pretty fucking awesome.
The thing that was annoying, that was a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, it needed to be an R.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
one movie I feel like it keeps getting like remakes, and it keeps failing is Hitman.
Oh yeah, Hitman. That would be crazy. I can imagine like who was
Get a James Bond director to do it, and they'll probably make it work.
Maybe. There's also
It's just like get the same writer.
There's also one that was way back in the 90s. It was they did a video game. I think you brought it up just recently. There was a video game. There was a movie adaptation of Double Dragon.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I brought it back up to Cruz. I'm like, when was there a Double Dragon movie?
There's.
What would you say? A Double Dragon movie remake? What would you think?
There was one movie that should get a sequel, not necessarily a remake. Warcraft.
Warcraft.
I'm not disagreeing. However, I think the time of Warcraft has already passed.
Yeah.
I guess I really liked that movie, and I feel like sad that we never got like a sequel when it came out, because it would have been amazing.
Yeah. Resident Evil. Can we just stop with the Resident Evil movies, please? Like
they're making a new one.
Here's a funny story for you. So I would be surprised. So me and Cruiser, whenever they came out with a Resident Evil movie, we kept saying, "Can't you just adapt the first fucking game?" And then they did. And even that didn't work. Awful. I'm like, as soon as we saw it, I'm like, please stop. Just stop. That line. Now it's a Jill sandwich. My girlfriend who's a huge Resident Evil fan, even she said, yeah, that line hurts. Ugh.
I mean, we did get a Monster Hunter movie by the same guy who directed some of the Resident Evil movies with his wife.
I know like some of them are good. I mean, like the Silent Hill movie I heard is okay.
The first one is okay. I do enjoy that one. The second one, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we got an Uncharted movie
That one was
with
actually
Tom Holland.
good, though.
What I heard that one was watchable. I heard that one was watchable.
It was tolerable. Like me, as a fan of the games,
Same.
like Tom Holland, for me, he wasn't Nathan Drake, but he was okay. And then the guy they got for Sully, which was like Wahlberg. Speaking of video game movies, they should have casted someone else, like anyone else
Bruce
but Mark
Campbell.
Wahlberg, because literally he was just playing himself.
I really think they probably
No,
should have
seriously,
gotten a better
if
director
I
as
had,
well, maybe.
so if I had the choice for that one, I'd keep Tom Holland because that would play off as a young Nathan Drake.
Oh yeah.
However, I would have Sully be played by Bruce Campbell because I'm thinking Dark Notice sort of thing.
That would be a good pick. I also kind of felt like maybe the director wasn't a good pick. I mean, I like Zombieland as well as Zombieland Double Tap. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, like, I like Ruben's work, but
I mean, the thing is, depending on who the writer was, because according to this, the screenplay was done by someone named Raphael Junkins, and his credits include writing credits for Herlam Grove, some work in Chuck and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's about it for him. The other guy is a duo, Markham and Holloway. Their filmography includes work on Iron Man, Punisher, Warzone, Transformers: The Last Night, Men in Black International, and Kraven the Hunter. So not really inspiring, like inspiration or like. I mean, at least we have Five Nights at Freddy.
Apparently,
that was a good one.
This guy's gonna become the guy who directed Uncharted is actually gonna be coming back to do a Jack and Daxter movie.
Maybe that could work.
Is it animated?
I hope so.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see a Jack and Daxter.
It's like one of those things
working.
like Michael Bay, this is kind of one of these genres where we might need you.
Save us, Michael Bay.
Yeah, and this is one of the things like, okay, Michael, you need to come in on this one, and we'll give you a chance here. You made Got Milk, you can make a video game movie work.
He made Got Milk. He made a Meatloaf music video.
He did.
Yeah. I'll do it. I will do anything for love.
No kidding.
I thought the movie Ambulance was actually pretty solid.
Huh?
The movie Ambulance, I thought that was solid.
I don't think he's a bad director by any means.
He has to have the right movie for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to have the right movie. That's why Transformers for a while worked so well.
Yeah, like I didn't hate Transformers 2. It's a guilty pleasure for me, honestly.
Rise of the Fallen I didn't like. However, I did like 1. I liked Dark Side of the Moon, shockingly enough. And I think it's Rise of the Beast. Dawn of Extinction or something like that.
Oh my god.
The one with the Dinobot introduced in.
Okay, so
I like that one, and I have yet to see Rise of the Beasts. So
there's another.
Rise of the Beast is really good. Honestly, better than Last Night and Age of Extinction.
Okay, I'll have to check it out then.
Okay, so I'm looking at this list of upcoming video game movies coming out. They're making this is a good one. I want to see this in film. They're making a video game adaptation of Comic Zone. That is a good idea.
I'm thinking I think what was it? Good.
There's also a Duke Nukem film. Oh, how are they going to get away with that?
Michael Bay has to direct that one. I don't give a shit. He has to direct that one.
Made by Legendary Pictures, and Apogee Software 3D Realms is involved, and also there's no director or anything like that.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, he agrees with me.
Michael Bay would totally be good for that. Like, how the fuck would you get They got J.J. Abrams making an untitled Portal movie, which is pretty good.
I can see that, kind of.
Oh, real quick before we continue. Speaking of J.J. Abrams, you know how he likes his mystery box?
How?
Yes, the mystery box.
Well, in the new Mission Impossible movie, they actually ruin his because they tell the viewers what the white rabbit is. Or rabbit's foot, whatever that from the third movie. They ruin his mystery box.
So now you're bringing this up here. There are some Michael Bay video game movies that are coming out, actually. Michael Bay has been confirmed for an Outrun movie. He's been confirmed for a untitled Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon film. That's it.
What were the movies he's working on?
He's doing an let me see what he's doing. He's doing Outrun and an untitled Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon film. There's also going to be a Space Invaders movie.
I could see him.
Okay, what the
I could see him
fuck?
doing the Outrun movie. I could kind of see him with the Tom Clancy movie. It depends on what they're doing, what he plans on doing with that one, and which one it is. The Space Invaders, maybe, just depends on what they want to do with it.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Angry Birds movie 3?
Yeah.
They're making a third one.
There was an Angry Birds 2?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Nostalgia Critics review of Angry Birds 1, and I liked how he used the song from the Rankin Bass Hobbit movie. It's so easy not to try. That killed me.
Oh my god, I just found out that Tim Burton was offered a role for Superman Lives after Tim Burton,
No kidding.
but he turned down the offer.
I don't know. Tim Burton doing Superman? No.
I don't see it. An Elseworld story of Superman, maybe, but not Superman proper.
Oh yeah, Tim Burton and Superman wouldn't mix up. Funny enough, I was watching a Disney animator being interviewed for his work on the Jungle Book, and he brought up like how the original drafts. I don't know if you guys have seen the original drafts of the animated Jungle Book movie, where Walt Disney saw the concept art for it, and the thing that came out of his mouth is, "That looks like Batman." I'm like, Walt Disney knew what Batman was. Interesting.
Eh.
I thought he'd be more of a Captain Midnight fan. Actually, here's something interesting I found out. You guys seen The Rocketeer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an underrated movie. It's pretty good. I was looking it up because I wanted to see what the sequel was going to be, because because the last thing I heard was they were going to make the Rocketeer into a girl. And then when I looked it up, I feel like an idiot that I probably didn't know this, but did you know they made a show?
They what?
Yeah, there was a
I heard murmurs, but
No, there was a Rocketeer TV series that ran from let me see if I got it here. There was 22 episodes, one season. It ran from November 8th, 2019 to July 25th, 2020. And you want to know what the biggest thing was? It was a Disney
What?
Junior show.
Oh yeah.
no wonder why I didn't really.
Yes. Although I will give him credit, they did get the original guy who played the Rocketeer to come back and voice the character again. Essentially, this little girl whose grandfather was the original Rocketeer is passing the torch on to her, and she's got I looked up some of the stuff there, and I actually heard it's actually not too bad. It's adorable. It's 22 episodes. It's fine. I'm like, whatever, give us more Rocketeer, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we need to get a remake of The Rocketeer. In fact, a little fun fact here, The Rocketeer was supposed to show up in the Captain Carter episode of What If?
Nice.
To which I'd be like, okay, that's kind of weird because like he's not a Marvel character. It'd be more efficient if they had, I don't know, freaking Captain Midnight show up or something like that. You remember that? You know that shit, man?
Yeah.
like my grandfather used to listen to radio all the time when he was a kid, and he said his favorite superhero was Captain Marvel, the DC Captain Marvel before that mix-up happened, and Captain Midnight. And it was that he said he never heard it in years. And then I said, "Grandpa, you ever heard of a thing called YouTube?" He immediately he said no. I blew his mind that when I showed him that every episode of that radio show is on YouTube. And he's like, "Oh my God."
Nice.
He listened to every single one since then. It was amazing. I don't know. It's like we gotta see that kind of stuff back there. I mean, like a Captain Midnight adaptation, that would be awesome. Get back, like remake one of those old time radio shows. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Question, guys: are you guys a fan of Legend of Zelda?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Well, the director of the Maze Runner trilogy and the most recent Kingdom of Planet of the Apes movie is directing a Legend of Zelda film for Sony.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Nice.
Yep, I can't wait to see the M where friggin' Master Hand shows up and says, "I want to talk to you about a tournament coming out." That would be great.
No, a dark room in the Hyrule Castle. You see a cloaked figure, turns around.
It's just a
Sam
hand.
Jackson. He goes. I want you for the Smash Brothers initiative.
It's just a hand. It's just a floating hand in a cloak.
Funny enough, there's actually a rumor going around, and I highly doubt it, but it could be possible.
What?
Because okay, so you two have seen Sonic 3, right?
No, I have not. I haven't seen any of
Who?
them, honestly. Well, like
Sonic 3.
I know the gist of it.
Which game is that?
The movie
What was it called again? Sorry.
Sonic 3.
Oh, Sonic 3. Yeah, I saw Sonic 3.
Remember who shows up in the after credits?
Yes. Are we okay to spoil or no? Or
Sure.
It's been out long enough. Okay, so Amy and Metal Sonic show up. So the thing is that with Amy showing up, there is a possibility of multi-dimension travel. Because Sonic CD, I think it was Sonic CD that had that. So the idea that the rumor that's going around is that that's how the Smash Brothers universe is going to happen.
But the problem I will say with that is, for example, Legend of Zelda is, even though it's being produced or the publisher is by Nintendo, is being released by Sony. Mario is being released by Illumination/Universal Pictures.
That's where that's where I'm skeptical on the whole thing.
Yeah, because unless they somehow do a multi deal between the three companies, or for example, the Legend of Zelda movie that Sony releases is let's say Universe A, and then if the Super Smash movie is being made, they can make a different Zelda under a different license with Nintendo, and it'll be like say Universe B.
Yeah,
I can see that happening because technically they can make a separate licensing with again, or Nintendo Sony be like, hey, we like money. You can use the version of our character in your film, and same with Paramount because Paramount money.
Pretty much any company money. All right, so one of the other video game movies that's coming out, I've seen research on, would be the Final Five. Welcome to the Final Five, everybody, where we talk. It's the last 5 minutes of the stream, and we talk about random, just last-minute thoughts and everything. So that being said, seeing that Raul is our guest tonight, I'm gonna let him go first. So be ready, my friend, because your time will begin.
I'm very excited to see what happens in the next couple months as far as some film goes. There's still a lot of films, especially in this next couple weeks that are coming out that I want to check out. Especially excited to see what happens with some video game movie, and everything from there, and even some TV shows here and there. Like I said, mixed feelings with Lilo and Stitch, but hopefully, maybe if I give it another rewatch, I either change my opinion or it will stay the same. We will see, but honestly, we'll see what happens next, because my next movie will be Karate Kid.
I'm juggling between that one and How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes, and also I forget the Phoenician Scheme by what's his name? Wes Anderson.
Yeah, for me it's Tron Ares. So let's move on to the next one here. We got Jablonski doing his Jablonski shit. Just go, I don't care.
More just focusing on the wedding stuff, getting my new place all cleaned up and ready to go and be moved in before the wedding.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And not doing too much else outside of that, not even really focusing on any of my cosplay stuff because of all this. But yeah, that's really all I got going on. I'm not working on any kind of projects. I'm not working on any kind of writing stuff, or just I'm just focusing on this house, my job, and the wedding. Because Lord have mercy on me, it is going to be a rough summer.
Indeed. That being said, with me, let's go on with me. Right now I got everything set. I want to thank those who are watching World Part 4. I'm glad the reception got as good as it did. I'm glad people loved the twist ending. Yeah, today I did a little bit of a starting off with it. I was basically able to organize scenes. I was able to organize what I got. I got fairly enough done, which I find really interesting. So yeah, that's been in works. I'm doing some other stuff right now. Tomorrow I gotta take my room apart and put it back together. So yeah. That being said, that should do it for the night. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Raul, thanks again for coming on tonight. It was always a pleasure. And yeah. Night all.
It's the end of the show, so don't blow it. It's the end of the show, so don't blow it. It's the end of the show, so don't blow it. End it right.
My life is a bacon-wrapped hell on earth.